Let's look a little more at what's new in the variable table for Solid Edge ST9. We'll take a look at the discrete list improvements that they've made. And so this little part, it's kind of a little widget part, not too complicated. You see I've created some user variables here. User variables are just variables where you type in some name and you apply some arbitrary value. These are not actually used anywhere yet. But yet if we look at the sketch, we'll see that we have some dimensions that have been renamed that actually can control the size of this model. So we have an overall length of this little widget, and we have a slot length also. So the slot length is actually being controlled by an if statement. So under certain conditions, the slot will change its size. Now this might look a little busy, but it's essentially the if statement that we just talked about, but the else, or the, so you have an if, and then you have a test, and then you have a comma, and then you have a result if that is true, and then a comma, and then you have else if it's not true, and we just simply have another if statement in there, and then we have another one nested inside of the third one. So there's essentially three conditions that need to be satisfied. It's a lot like a select case statement that you would have in a basic programming language. And something else that we've done here, we've, rather than typed in discrete numbers, we've actually utilized other variables within the if statement. It makes it very nice in the future for you to be able to come in and say change the value that's L1 without having to go in here and carefully type within your if statement, which can be a little tricky. You can just type on click on your variable name and change that value. So a really nice improvement there. Another new functionality that's been added in the area of the rule editor. The discrete list of values now supports not only typing in numbers, but actually typing in variable names. So again, you don't have to have all these numbers that you need to modify in various places. So you may have used a rule, a limit to a discrete list in a number of places, and if you need to make a change to that later, you just need to change that one variable, L1 or L2. You don't have to go into every single place where you've referenced that discrete list. It also works with the min-max. You can refer to a variable there as well. Really cool improvement in the variable table for ST9, and just kind of give you a little demonstration of how that all works once it's wired up. If we go and we'll double click that so we can get a little larger view. Now I've just put a PMI dimension here for feedback. Actually, I guess I don't really need that, do I? But it doesn't matter. So you see, because we've entered in a discrete list, we can choose from these values. Now if you watch the slot size, that changes to a 3, and it changes to a 4 in that case. So you can see it's not really a linear difference. It's for each selection, that if statement being nested the way it is gives you control over each case in a sense.